There will now be an opportunity for silent prayer or meditation. Thank you. May we all be seated. Honorable members and guests, good morning. We are now on item number 1, statements by members. Are there any member statements? Honorable Masilela.
Honorable Speaker, the African National Congress applauds the Department of Human Settlement for the approval of 7 new townships across our province. The department has also approved 64 plans for upgrading the existing townships during the current financial year. These very good stories to tell. Honorable Speaker, a number of agri-villages are already built in a number of areas, and I hope this will spread to all corners of our province. The Mpumalanga Forum for the Upgrading of Informal Settlements has positively welcomed this positive intervention. Honorable Speaker, the ANC-led government have promised our people proper human settlements, and now this dream is gradually becoming true. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable MEC Mahlangu.
Siyabonga somlomo umbiko omuhle ovela kumhlonishwa uMasilela. Singu government ka African National Congress sakhomitha ukuthi sizozitshintsha impilo zabantu. Kufanele abantu vele bahlaliswe ngendlela efanele. Out of the 7 sina 40 esasele esizimisele ukuthi sizo upgrade nayo ukuthi abahlali basekhaya bonke bathole ukuhlaliseka okuright. Siyabonga.
Thank you very much, MEC. Any other member statement? Honorable Mufokeng.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I rise on behalf of the EFF to register our disappointment about the manner in which the ANC-led government is treating our learners. Nearly 26 years in our constitutional democracy, the right to access education is still not fulfilled, as learners from Alexandra village continue to risk their lives on rainy days crossing overflowing rivers to Matibela High, Alexandra High, and Motseleng Primary. The EFF proposed that the responsible department urgently attend to building a footbridge before we could lose our lives. This is painful to see a black child suffering till today after a hard-fought democracy. This proves that the ANC government cannot be trusted by not taking our people seriously and cannot be trusted into leading this country and the province. I so move on and speak. Thanks.
Thank you, Honorable Majoba. It cuts across to department.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Let's appreciate the concern by the Honorable Member. We are fully aware of what is happening in that area. We visited the area and we were informed by the municipality that they are at the process of building a bridge. What I can say is that we are very much concerned about the learners, that they must be given proper education. That is why we're amongst the first to visit the area, so as we could be able to make sure that the situation is corrected. Thank you.
Thank you very much, MEC. Any other member statement? Honorable Khrola.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. I rise to deliver a member statement on behalf of the Democratic Alliance. Honourable Speaker, there is severe unrest which has shaken the town of Barberton over the past few weeks. And although we do not condone the violence, the community's reasons are valid. Due to the aspiration of obtaining a metro status, the municipalities of Umjindi and Mbombela was amalgamated, and once the aspiration failed, the residents of the former Umjindi were left to fend for themselves. Umjindi was self-sustainable and in a position to deliver services to the residents who lived there. Today, these residents don't have water, they don't have any jobs, and unemployment is high. Sewer is running through the streets, and the only fire engine is old, and it has been supplied by business owners in the area. Following the amalgamation, these residents are hopeless. Given the plight of the residents and the fact that with the amalgamation these residents were sidelined, I want to ask if the MSC will state if there is any plans to separate the two former municipalities, and if not, will the MEC please state how his office will try to improve the service delivery issues in Umjindi in order to make these residents benefit from government? I thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Hropla. It also cut across two departments. Honorable MEC for Safety, Security and Liaison, because the question, the last question was asked from you, but it cuts across to a department, Cocta and yourself.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, indeed, we are for safety of the community. I think on the side of service delivery, the Department of Cocta, they have met with the community members, bakhulumisana, kwaba khona lebavumelana ngako. Thina ke siltigo letokuphepha singenelelile ngokuthi bese kungana kuthula bantwana bakhona ke esikoleni, banda bakhona ke emsebenzini. Sangenelela ukuthi akube ne-stability, kube ne-peace. But ngicabanga ukuthi iCocta ikahle ukuthi ingasichazela ukuthi mhlambe lesikhathi kukhulunyiswana yini lebavumelene ngako. Thank you.
Siyabonga kakhulu, MEC. Any other member statement? Honorable Webb.
Madam Speaker, I rise to deliver a member statement on behalf of the Freedom Front Plus. Honourable Speaker, through you, Honourable Shabalala. Crescent Park in Piet Retief is a public park. It is surrounded by private residences and guest houses. We have received written complaints from residents in that area to the SAP station commander for non-reaction to complaints regarding drinking in public, public indecency, reckless driving, driving under the influence of alcohol and drugs, public defecation and noise pollution. These complaints are dating back to 2018 and have remained unanswered, all of them. Of late, I have personally taken the initiative and written to the cluster commander, Brigadier A. Gous, who on both occasions has outright ignored our correspondence and our attempts to get him to act against these flagrant violations of the South African law. The SAPs owe the residents and business owners the respect and handle these issues diligently and professionally. Can we describe our South Africa as a lawless place where these violators are left to do as they want, and the only authority relied on cannot even answer correspondence regarding these complaints? MEC Chabalala, we will now be forced to escalate this to both General Partha and Commissioner Zuma, and we hope that the necessary steps are taken from your side to ensure that the issue at hand is dealt with and that someone that is as important as a cluster commander in the SAPs can be held responsible for what could constitute a blatant disregard for this responsibility to South African citizens. I shall send you the necessary correspondence regarding this issue. I thank you.
You have got only 1.5 minutes to do a member statement. Thank you very much. Honorable Shabalala.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Indeed, Honorable Weber is raising a very serious concern in terms of the violation of the law. Public drinking, it's one of it. I would then come very close to the space. I will have to check because you have forwarded some written concern, yes, but then you did not get any response. I will have to make sure that I work with you in that regard to find out what exactly happened. But then we cannot tolerate the violation of our own beautiful laws. We will have to make sure that we enforce law. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable MEC Shabalala. Any other member statement? Honorable Tabete.
Ngiyabonga Somlomo. I-ANC incoma umkhankaso wekulwa nekusabalalisa kwetidzakamiva ikakhulu etikolweni nasemarenkini. Litiko linema program leliwaqalile kuthi bavakashele lama rank bavakashele tikolo lebakubitwa ukuthi school safety provincial campaign. Baphindze futhi bavakashele letikolo ngobe bothishera babonakala bangasasi safe la etikolweni bantwana bafika badle tidzakwamiva balwe nabothishera abasakhuteki lapha eMbombela la kubitwa ukuthi kuse eBrown Street nasemalahleni lapha eDowntown kuwes speaker ngetidzakamiva sikhutsata i-department kuthi le program lebayiqalile bangayekeli ngekuthi bantu bakithi bahlale bavikeleke njalo ikakhulu basibukele labachamuki ngobe letidzakamiva letiningi disabalaliswa ngilabantu bokuchamuka ikakhulu lababuye eNigeria laba lebato babamba babathola bendaloko sicela ukuthi baqinisekise ukuthi bahambe baphindze bangasabuyi la eSouth Africa. Ngiyabonga.
Siyabonga kakhulu, Honorable Member MEC Shabalala.
Mlomo, kuliciniso ukuthi singuhulumende wase South Africa sikhathatheke kakhulu ngetidzakamiva letikhona la etitradeni tethu nasetindzaweni la mhlambe letifihlekile. Kodwa we have a program we have started last week Friday sivizitile again le stratile sihlupha kakhulu lapha eNasport. Siyabathola bona bayaboshwa kodwa kufuna ukuthi sisebenzisane department ye justice ukuthi basilekelele ukuthi kugcine lo mthetho. Siphindze sibambisane nematiko lafana ne social development ukuthi sifundise abantu bethu ngebuhlungu nebungudi bokusebenzisa tidzakamiva. Sibambisene kahle kakhulu ne department ye education lapho sithatha khona abantwana sibavakashisa babone lapha kugcine khona tigebengu babone ukuthi bugebengu abhadali futhi kubhlunga kanani mase uphakathi ejele ungasakhoni ukukhululeka wento yonke into loyifunako. But sitibophelele si department ukuthi sochubeka nalama program sifundise abantu bakithi.
Thank you very much, MEC. We are now moving to executive statements. None. Motions without notice. Are there any motion without notice? Honorable Makaringe.
Honorable Speaker, I rise to move a motion without notice for this House to applaud the Department of Agriculture on the progress made in resolving long-standing issues affecting the dismissed workers at Umbaba Estate. Noting that the department has already planted maize at Kahoi on 70 hectares for the dismissed Umbaba workers, including other community members in the area. A reasonable amount of 3.6 million was allocated for debushing, reaping, plowing, and disking and planting on the 70 hectares. Further noting that the department is currently preparing the soil for the remaining 30 hectares. The good news, Honorable Speaker, is that the department used drought-resistant seeds of maize in support of these incoming farmers. Honorable Speaker, I move that this House continue its support to the department and also encourages all stakeholders to keep the candle burning for all affected families and victims involved. I so move.
Thank you, Honorable Makaringe. The question before the House is whether we agree to adopt the motion.
Not
Agree
agreed,
to.
not agreed, not agreed. Misleading our people.
The motion defeated. Any other motions without notice? Honorable Mkabela.
Thank you, Speaker. I rise to congratulate the EFF for holding its second successful National People's Assembly from the 13th to the 16th of December 2019 under the theme Consolidating the Ground Towards Socialist Power, followed by our first plenum held from the 5th to the 9th of February 2020, where we resolved that 2020 will be the year where we take the fight to the racist financial sector. Honorable Speaker, the EFF had again held one of the biggest march to Eskom Megawatt Park on the 28th of February 2020, and we handed our memorandum of demands to end load shedding and that ANC and Jamnandas must stop the privatization of Eskom. And Honorable Speaker, as I sit down, let me thank the EFF in Mpumalanga for having a meaningful participation in the public hearings held on the 28th February to the 1st of March at Nhlanzeni, Nkangala, and Gert Sibande regions, conducted by the ad hoc committee on amendment of Section 25 of our Constitution. Honorable Speaker, we believe our input will deliver on our cardinal pillar number 1, which is the expropriation of South Africa's land without compensation for equal redistribution. Honorable Speaker, we are disappointed as
Round up,
EFF that the
honorable
ANC was disorganized and did not take the issue of land expropriation serious, as they did not have a proper submission to the committee on how the section must read after the amendment. I thank you.
Thank you. The question before the House is whether we agree to adopt the motion.
Not agreed, not agreed, not agreed.
The motion stays defeated. Any other motion without notice? Honorable. Honorable Stoll.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I rise to deliver a motion without notice on behalf of the Democratic Alliance, noting, Honorable Speaker, that as the Democratic Alliance, we would like to congratulate the Mpumalanga Legislature for finally heeding our call to host the State of the Province address in the Legislature chambers. Further noting, Honorable Speaker, that year after year, the DA's proposal was rejected until this year, and we are happy that you finally listened. I therefore move that this House congratulate the Honorable Speaker and the ruling party for finally adopting DA policy to cut costs and host SOPA in this August House. I further move that in future, the legislature must save more taxpayers' money by adopting DA policies sooner than later. I so move.
Thank you, Honorable Member. The question before the House is whether we agree to adopt the motion. The motion stays defeated. Any other motion? Honorable Mkhatshwa.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I rise to move a motion without notice for the ANC that this House to congratulate Deputy President Mr. David Mabuza, who was honored with Leadership Award. The African Leadership Impact Award recognized him for his mediation role in the South Sudan peace process. In his address during the ceremony, he mentioned that although sustaining peace is hard work, it takes a village and a nation to build peace. This is in line with the ANC priorities, where we have committed to work for peace, integration, and development in Africa. We are humbled by the ongoing contribution to the mediation process led by Deputy President Mabuza as President Cyril Ramaphosa's Special Envoy to the Republic of South Sudan. The ANC is adamant that his leadership qualities will contribute in ensuring and sustaining peace in Sudan and in the entire African continent. The ANC therefore move that this House congratulate Deputy President in scooping such an award. I so move.
Thank you, Honorable Member. The question before the House is whether we agree to adopt the motion. Agreed to?
No.
We don't agree.
I phone Kong Lendl. Which institution?
Honorable Sedibe, no, don't do that. The motion stays defeated. Honorable Sedibe, don't do that. Any other motions without notice? Honorable Shongwe?
On behalf of the ANC-led government, ngitsandza kuphakamisa sishukumiso lesingakatiswa ngokushonelwa ngumake Chiki Sikhobela. Umake Chiki Sikhobela is a veteran of the ANC and the ANC Women's League. She played a pivotal role ekwakheni emagatsha e-ANC ne-ANC Women's League in Mpumalanga. She served ku Council of Churches at that time before 1994. She also served ku UDF, and after that, achieved democracy. She was sent to National Parliament, where she served till 2008. Kwangathi umphefumulo wakhe ungalala ngokuthula, ajoyine labanye bomake labasilwele before, and nokusho ukuthi thina sibomake sisachubeka kule nzima lebasifundisayo yona ukuthi silwele i-transformation yabomake, nokuthi sitawuchubeka silwe sitithathe tikhundla letibalulekile both ku-government naku-ANC. Amandla.
Thank you very much. The question before the House is whether we agree to adopt the motion. Agreed to? Agreed. And so agreed. Thank you very much. We are now moving to notices of motion. Are there any notices of motion? Honorable Sedibe.
Ngiyabonga Somlomo. Ngisukuma njengelunga lehloniphe kakhulu kudlula onke malunga la khona la. Kundlulisa ukuthi angicale ngokundlulisa i-disappointment ukuthi le motion lento erezanyana ngirezile ku-50 parliament. Ngiyasukuma kucela indlu esishamthetho ukuthi kule sitting letako asidingi ideni lenzaba yenkohlakalo kuma department nabo masipala. Pheceleti, I request that the House in its next sitting debate the level of corruption in the provincial department, state-owned enterprises and the municipalities in Mpumalanga. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The motion is noted and will be dealt with accordingly. We are now moving to formal motions. I am informed that there are no formal motions. We will now proceed with the orders of the day. Oh. Okay, Honorable Webb. Honorable Webb, I'm noting you. I could not see your hand. Do we have any?
Notice of motion.
Okay.
Madam Speaker.
Notices of motion.
Yes. Madam Speaker, I hereby move on behalf of the Freedom Front Plus that in our next sitting, this House debates the blatant disregard of our environment when mining groups speculate areas to mine and also debate large-scale mining that takes place without any rehabilitation to affected environment being done. I so move.
Thank you. Motion is noted and will be dealt with accordingly. We are now moving to formal motions. I am informed that there are no formal motions. We will now proceed to orders of the day. The Secretary shall read the first order of the day.
Order number 1, debate on the Premier State of the Province address.
Thank you very much. I have speakers list in front of me. I will now call speaker number 1, Honorable F.V. Mlombo from the ANC, 8 minutes.
Honorable Speaker, Honorable Deputy Speaker, Honorable Deputy Chief Whip of the Majority Party, the African National Congress, our Honorable Premier, Mem Tweni Tsipane, Honorable members of the Executive Council, Honorable members of the Provincial Legislature, chairpersons and CEOs of parastatals, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. We gather here at an extremely difficult and challenging time in the life of our young democracy. Our country is going through the economic challenges. Yet, we also gather here at a moment in our history that holds great hope and promise. We are, however, despite all the difficulties that we are facing in terms of our economy, we are determined, Honorable Speaker. We are not prepared to succumb and shy away from our responsibility and task of seeking to change these very difficult conditions in favor of the majority of the people. We have made a resolve that we shall deliver a better life to our people. And as such, we are prepared to persevere despite the economic challenges that we are facing. In order to paraphrase and confirm that, Honorable Speaker, allow me to quote one of the great philosophers, Karl Marx, when he said, I quote, "Men make history, but under conditions and circumstances not of their own choosing." I quote, I close quote. It is in that context, Honorable Speaker, that I stand here as the Chief Whip of the Majority Party to confirm and confess that the address by the Honorable Premier is in line with our resolve and objective of building a free, non-racial, non-sexist, democratic, and prosperous South Africa. I am here to confirm that the address by the Honorable Premier has overwhelmingly covered the ideals as set out in the Freedom Charter. The speech has conformed and complied with the priorities as set out in the National Development Plan and all government priorities. The speech focuses on the diversification, on the beneficiation, on the socio-economic development, and also on the inclusive growth of our economy that includes all our people. This speech is about jealously defending our national heritage and using it for the benefit of our people as a whole. It is about putting into action the clarion call from the Freedom Charter that the people shall share in the country's wealth. The people is about infusing a sense of responsibility, a sense of accountability, a sense of morality, and it serves as a compass that is directing us and reminding us not to forget that we are the servants of the people. In order to prove this, Honorable Speaker, allow me to quote paragraph 239 of the speech where it says, I quote, "In essence, Madam Speaker, we must be the embodiment of the province we want to create. We must embody the virtues that befit the glorious paradise of the East," close quote. Wow. What else should we ask for? Because the Honorable Speaker, the Honorable Premier has surpassed our expectation. It is therefore befitting that on behalf of the African National Congress, I extend our words of appreciation and gratitude and say thank you, and thank you very much, Honorable Premier, for delivering a State of the Province address that is so powerful, that is so profound, that is so relevant, and that provides the clarity of purpose. The Honorable Premier has correctly taken this opportunity to communicate to the people of Mpumalanga that their government is leading the revolution for the land reform through the land restitution and redistribution program, that hundreds and thousands of hectares of land have been redistributed to the rightful owners, that government working with Amakosi has ensured that the majority of our people benefits from this program. The Honorable Premier has captured the moment to reconfirm our resolve and commitment to build a developmental state that will intervene to create jobs, that will intervene to grow the economy, that will intervene to deliver services, and that will ensure that we grow the economy of this country. We welcome the bold move to industrialize our province through the implementation of the Mpumalanga Industrial Development Plan, an industrial development plan which seeks to establish the Nkomazi Special Economic Zone that calls for the building of the Mpumalanga Fresh Produce Market, that calls for the building of the agri-hubs. We further welcome the radicalization of the implementation of the National Health Insurance, which seeks to ensure that we build the hospitals. We have seen it with the Bethal and Mametlake Hospital, the building of community health care services, the building of nurse accommodation. As I close, Honorable Speaker, I think we must appreciate the 50 million rand that has been set aside for youth development. We welcome the conscious and progressive decision to prioritize the youth of this country. And as the former President Nelson Mandela said, the sun shall never set on so glorious a human achievement. And thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The second speaker is Honorable MC Sedibe from EFF, 8 minutes.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Greetings to the Honorable Premier and all honorable members. In the name of the Real Economic Emancipation Movement, the EFF, which is the only hope of the hopeless people of Mpumalanga, in particular in South Africa in general, as well as Africa and the diaspora. Allow me to wish my Commander-in-Chief and President and son of the soul and the radical revolutionary a happy birthday. Honorable Premier, I have a message for you that I will firstly read because I am sent by mothers out there to ask you to help them. It reads as follows. Good day. My name is Betty Mufukeng, a young single mother raising a 6-year-old autistic boy. It worries me daily that my son's education is not important to the government. It gives me sleepless nights that at his age, he still hasn't been at school and browsed through a school curriculum. the sadness that comes with knowing that there are many autistic kids that stay at home full time with no hope of ever going to a proper school. Honorable Premier, we need autism-specific schools in all the 4 regions of Mpumalanga as a matter of urgency, because parents are forced to take their kids to private autism schools, which they don't afford. And I hope the Department of Education is aware about this challenge. And I know that most of these kids living with autism, they are taken to the special needs school, Honorable Premier. Special needs school and autism schools are 2 different schools. So that's the message that the mothers out there requested me to send to you, because they know that we are working with you or together in the legislature. Honorable Premier, your 2020 SOPA does not speak to the touching and pressing issues faced by the people of community or communities of Mpumalanga in the villages, townships, and in the farms. In true sense, it does not seek to address the socio-economic challenges faced in the main by our youth who are jobless and helpless, lingering the streets with matric, diplomas, and degree certificates. Our province is very rich in minerals like coal, but those minerals does not benefit the majority of our people, in particular blacks, who are categorized as previously disadvantaged. The minority, more especially the whites, are still in charge of our economy, and the Department of Economic Development is mum about this. All the mines in Mpumalanga does not comply with the mining charter, hence the massive dismissal of workers and lack of business opportunities for our fellow black brothers and sisters in that sector. So a free advice to you, Honorable Premier, from the EFF is that together with the Department of Economic Development, urgently convene the provincial mining indaba and develop a monitoring mechanism that will ensure that all mines comply with the mining charter, because the job losses in the mines is so massive and it contributes to the high unemployment rate that we are enjoying in the province. And I think you must force them to sign an agreement with the provincial government that there will be no job losses, because we must have protected jobs in the mines, because these mineral resources belong to us, except that the few minority and whites from Europe came and exploited our minerals, and then we were working under them. And I've got few issues on governance and corruption. I've heard you have touched some part of corruption in the provincial and municipality, Honorable Premier. But I'm worried about the state of the provincial departments and the state-owned enterprises and the municipalities in the province. It is very worrisome, as pointed by the Auditor General. And the Auditor General point mostly on the non-compliance to supply chain management policy in almost all the department, municipalities, and state-owned entities, which is a worrying factor, because supply chain management is where tenders are issued. And why is it only the flicking and flaking points which contribute to irregular, unauthorized, fruitless, and wasteful expenditure? That's it. But we welcome the new Auditor General SA Act that permits or empowers the Auditor General to lay criminal corruption and fraud charges against any transgressors. It also empowers us, as including yourself, Premier, to do so, or even any executive authority and any other member of the opposition parties that are here. Corruption robs of our people their right to dignified life and stifles service delivery, and we know that at the center of this corruption is the MECs and mayors who in turn connive with the HOTs and municipal managers to steal the taxpayers' money meant for quality service delivery. We know everything and everything, Honorable Premier. We know who is doing what, with whom, and how. We are following on how the public funds are being stolen daylight, and we are happy And as I've said, and welcome the new HESA Act. There is a very bad political influence in some departments, like social development, by the executive authority. The department is now unstable, Honorable Premier, and dysfunctional. The senior management officials are demoralized and divided since the new MEC took over. The MEC continues with her criminal conduct of looting like she did in previous deployment as the Speaker of the Legislature. She is taking money from the service providers to build her mansion at the rest, which I'm told she is competing with Robert Kumet. I don't know why politicians must compete with business people. The NGOs in the province has no money since the MEC took over, and she is busy paging and victimizing competent and experienced managers and
Round up, Honorable
recognizing the incompetent ones. Okay, as I conclude, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Premier, your government does not take the issue of infrastructure development very serious. That is why our old citizens are afraid to go to hospitals like Temba, like Mpuleni, like Witbank, like Emelo, because they are saying when they go there, they know that is their final destination. They are going to the mortuary. They will not come back. Let's fix the hospital through the hospital revitalization program. And we welcome your integrated human settlement program. But we are worried that we are not acting on the corruption that is happening in terms of allocation of the RTPs, because ANC councillors are selling those
Time up,
RTPs to
Honourable
police and non-deserving officials. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. The next speaker is Honorable R.J. Sitole from the DA, 5 minutes.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I stand before you today proudly representing my political party, the Democratic Alliance. Honorable Premier, I think it is becoming a fact that you are becoming a master of saying the right things, things you believe the people of our province want to hear, but which are grossly contrasted by your government's inability to either understand what you are saying or simply lacking the inability to implement the bold promises that you make. Honorable Premier, it appears that MRTT has also become your new mega. In 2014, the former Premier announced that MRTT is going to develop 5,000 artisans. 3 years later, he reduced that to 1,000, converting the program to an apprentice program, and you just announced that that program is going to shut down, with us having only developed 2,950 artisans. Honorable Speaker, it is the youth of this province that are at the receiving end of programs such as this ones that are claiming millions from the provincial budget but produce nothing. At the same time, I've got no doubt that the CEO and board members of MRTT get their salaries, their bonuses, but they preside over failed programs. That hasn't helped this province. And you are now pouring money into MRTT like you did with Mega, and to this day, Mega still stands as a white elephant. Honorable Speaker, the youth of this province are becoming more unskilled, unemployed, and more unemployable. If you look at talking of unemployment, I stood here several months ago and welcomed to a youth development fund because it was going to deal with youth unemployment. As the DA called for its implementation, I congratulated the Honorable Premier for adopting a DA's model once again of building job centers to support and enable our unemployed youth to get work. However, several months down the line, I'm afraid that this LED desks, let's do oversight and you will be shocked. In various municipalities such as Mkondo, it's completely dysfunctional. You look at Tabachew, doesn't even have one. Announcement must translate into actions, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, we are still hopeful that if implemented properly, as the Premier announced, this province will be able to support economic growth and development, and with that, create job opportunities which empowers our youth. Once again, implementation is key. Honorable Premier, you couldn't even bring yourself to say anything about Mega last Tuesday. Mega no longer holds any legitimate right to exist. I do not know why you will keep on going on with Mega. That is draining the provincial fiscus and producing nothing. Mega is an entity in perpetual chaos, unable to even manage their own affairs. And I challenge you, Honorable Premier, to mention even one project that Mega has executed that has resulted in the creation of jobs. Mega is nothing more than a blood-sucking entity unable to deliver a single mandate. Yes, you choose to ignore this. It's like you turn your back on a burning house while you are holding a fire extinguisher in your hand. Honorable Speaker, Umama, Wimpokoto, and the people of Mpumalanga want to remember you one day with the actions that you have taken, not the words that you have said. Honorable Speaker, Honorable Premier is right in saying that current government institutions have lost integrity and that the lawlessness, greed, and selfishness needs to be stopped. However, talk is cheap. The real action needs to be seen by the citizens of this province. In July last year, Honorable Premier mentioned the use of the Auditor General's new powers, which I think my Honorable colleague has just also mentioned, contained in the Public Audit Amendment Act, that will be used to investigate corruption in the provinces as incurred by accounting officers. From one SOPA to the next, and now the Premier is considering various options to conduct lifestyle audits. What is concerning, Honorable Speaker, is that the vetting field unit has already been established. When are we going to stop with grand announcement and put what we already have into action? The vetting field unit could root out all evil. And as it stands now,
Honorable Member.
it looks like it's becoming the root to all evil. Honorable Speaker, as I round off, I would like to say, if you put the ruling party to manage the Sahara Desert, I'm sure that in 10 years, we will be running out of sand. Our province is running out of everything, from money to jobs to everything. And Honorable Premier, the people of Mpumalanga are still waiting for the school for the deaf. In your last SOPA, you announced building a tertiary hospital in Emalahleni. On Tuesday, you announced another hospital in Mbombela. Before another grant announcement, let's give progress on the previous announcement. Honorable Speaker, we are still waiting for the High Altitude Training Center in Emakazeni. We are still waiting for the cultural hub that you promised in Mbombela. The province already invested 165 million in these projects, as well as the international produce market, and of course, the infamous announcement after announcement. These projects are nowhere near completion. When you pass there, it's still nothing. Honorable Premier, I have no doubt that one day you would like to leave a legacy behind that those who will come after you will remember you with. Let it be a legacy of a woman who will be remembered for her actions instead of her announcement. The DA will continue to put alternatives on the table. We will work with you in your administration in the best interest of the people of Mpumalanga, and we will continue to hold you and the executive to account. I thank you.
Thank you. The next speaker is Honorable J.L. Tabete from ANC. 8 minutes. Oh, my apology. Yes, Honorable P.S. Ngomana from the ANC, 10 minutes.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker and Deputy Speaker, colleagues in the Executive Council, and honorable members of the Provincial Legislature, esteemed guests present here, and media. Honorable Premier, in your State of the Province address, you clearly provided a marching order for an inclusive and shared economic growth. You reminded us that the principal task of this sixth administration is to build a transformed economy where every citizen can access opportunities brought by ANC government. We are reminded to making this happen and more. We will strengthen structures that support local economic development. We will develop skills of young people to take up opportunities, and we will upscale cooperatives to participate in the mainstream of provincial economy. We will never abandon the promise made in the Freedom Charter that people shall share in the wealth of this country at the altar of political expedience. It's for this reason that government will continue implementing the preferential public policy framework and broad-based black economic empowerment legislation to change the economic landscape
and to broaden participation of youth, women, and people with disability in the economy. Furthermore, we intend to ensure that all potential beneficiaries can access opportunities under the transformative Black Industrial Program. We will revitalize township and rural economy using the Social Enterprise Development Program and government nutrition programs, amongst others. We will further collaborate with the private sector to enhance government capacity to fund the developmental programs and to support the SMMEs in the province. We will monitor our funding partnership with the Standard Bank to ensure that more SMMEs access this flagship funding opportunity. Working together with South African Bureau of Standards, we will support small businesses to ensure that their products or goods achieve industry standard. This initiative will ensure that SMMEs and cooperatives can supply the government with certified and quality product and further expand their market reach in the private sector. Our pursuit for industrialization of the province, anchored on the Mpumalanga Industrial Development Plan, is gaining momentum. We are making progress on the program of establishing Technology Park as part of diversifying the economy, localizing industrialization, and taking advantage of competitive advantages of the 3 districts of the province. We can also report that Nkomazi local municipality, as it has been emphasized by the speech of the Premier, has approved the application for the Nkomazi SZ township established in Nkomazi. To kickstart the Nkomazi Special Economic Zone, we have registered the SEZ as a legal entity, and the process of appointing the board of directors as well as the project management team has commenced. We agree with Honorable Premier that provincial government should pay more attention to infrastructure development and safety of tourists in our province. We are indeed committed to improving infrastructure and supporting the industry efforts to ensure that tourists prolong their stay in the province. The Mpumalanga Tourism and Parks Agency has rolled out several infrastructure maintenance programs to ensure that the agency's protected areas are easily accessible and attractive to the visitors. We must, however, pull together financial resources from various tourism stakeholders to ensure the success of the plans to increase the appeal of destination of our province. As part of completing the work of South African Police Service, we will make budget provision for the appointment of tourist monitors in 2020-21 financial year. As I conclude, let me reiterate the words of the Premier when she tabled the budget. Open quote. We stand together, united behind a vision that was created by Utata Matiba, a vision of a free, non-sexist, and democratic South Africa. Close quote. Indeed, we can and we will overcome all our challenges and prosper as a nation again. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Ngomane. We are now moving to the next speaker, is Honorable JL Tabete from the ANC, 8 minutes.
Ngiyabonga Somlomo. Angibingelele kumalunga esishayamthetho. Ngibingelele kundunankulu wethu. Ngibingelele thimba lakhe le cabinet. Ngibingelele tonke tinhloko tematiko. Ngibingelele tihambeli tethu. Honorable Speaker, His Excellency Mongameli Ramaphosa ubekile umhlahlandlela uma ethula inkulumo yakhe yebunjalo belive. Lona mhlahlandlela wendulele inkulumo yebunjalo besifundza sethu lethule ngundunankulu uMamthweni Tsipane. Siyabonga sinhlangano lebusako iANC ukuthi ndulankulu ubekile ukuthi tinhlelo tetempilo netenhlale kahle titawuchutjwa kanjani la kulesifundza. Sibonge futhi nekuthi kunanasi sifo lesivelile lesesibulale abantu labaningi se-coronavirus. Kuthi hulumende wethu ngekuthi yanakekela wende sure ukuthi ubeka tinhlelo leti right lokumaskenas kuthi bantu labafika kuleli live lakithi bende sure ukuthi baphephile abaguli so that nathi sikhone kuphepha. Siyacela ke ku MEC wethu wetempilo la eprovincini ukuthi nala kule yethu iairport lapha eKruger National Airport bende sure ukuthi kunetinsita letifanelekile ngobe lesifo siyabhubhisa. Sivumelana naye ndunankulu ukuthi takhiwo ngqandi tethu tetempilo setindlulelwe isikhathi kudzingekile ukuthi tivakashelwe tiphindze tilungise kabusha. Kunaletiningi ketakhiwo letilungisilwe letinye mhlonishwa Mlombo tibalile letinye tisakhiwa lekufaka phakathi nekliniki yethu yalapha kaNyamazane ngobe phakathi kwaKanyamazane sewukhulile. Siyabonga ukuthi siyayibona iqalile. Sicela nedi ukuthi kunonophe bantu bakithi bakhone kuyisebenzisa. Sibonga nekuthi lapha eRobes Ferreira kuneligumbi lelidila ngechemotherapy eRobes Ferreira dani kucala labantu bakithi bebahamba khona bayele ekugceni bothola lisito lelifana nalelo. Sibonge ukuthi nale mitlamo iphothulusiwe emsebentini lokuyingcinamba lekhungethe live lonke. Lemisebenzi yokuthi emathuba emsebenzi ayaswelakala. Kodwa ngalokuthi ndunankulu wethu yabona ukuthi kubalekile ukuthi tisebenzi letsebenza ngetempilo tingavinjele kwakuthi baqashe abasebende umsebenzi ngalokufanelekile ngekuthi bavale tonke tikhala letikhona. Kodwa solo siyakhala ndunankulu ukuthi matiko lamaningi akakhona ukusebenza ngalendzaba yemoratorium. Uma ingabuyeketwa bakhone kuvala tikhala lapha kufanele khona ukuthi tivalwe. Nanoma sathi ukuthi kukhona lokubesilwa kukugwinyata noma kukugwema ukuthi singaqashi kodwa kuyalimata kakhulu kulama department. Sicela ukuthi nikubuyekete lokho. Sicela ukuthi lama ambulance lawa la 35 lathengiwe lomnyaka lophelile tisebenzi tiwaphathe kahle. Nalawa latothengwa futhi afike ngesikhathi abe visible kuwo wonke ema-clinic ethu so that bantu bakithi bakhone ukuthi bathole lisito ngesikhathi lesifanele. Lapha eMiddelburg kunesibhedlela lesakhiwako. Siyabona emapulane kunesibhedlela lesakhiwako kodwa kuhamba kancane ndunankulu. Sicela ukuthi kunonophe ngobe kusengakabonakala ukuthi kuyiwapi. At least kancane le eMiddelburg yabonakala mara ngala emapulane kuhamba ngelinyawo lelinwabo kancane snail pace. so sicela ukuthi kunonophe. Kuyancomeka ukuthi bantwana bemantombazane bayathola ke ama-sanitary towels, siyabonga kakhulu kumphathi walelo litiko. Kodwa tinhlelo tekulwa ne-gender based violence kuhlukunyetwa kwabomake nebantwana akusengakacaci kahle. Kodwa siyabonga ukuthi mongameli uqinisekisile ukuthi through le emergency action plan yokulwa ne-gender based violence ubeke imali lengu 1.6 billion ibekwe eceleni ukuthi ilekelele kudila ne-gender based violence. Siyacela ke ukuthi i-department la provincini ibe netinhlelo leticacile letitawenta ukuthi nathi sitomule siMpumalanga kulo 1.6 billion singatholakala ukuthi asikendi i-proper planning bese asakhoni ku-benefita. Loko kwente ngobe sinhlangano le-leader government siyanakekela. Ndunankulu sowubekile inselela kumaduna ahulumende wesifundza ukuthi aqinisekise ukuthi konke lokhu lakukhulumile kule nkulumo yakhe bayaku-implementa. Ukhulumile futhi ukuthi mathuba emsebenzi kubantu labasha nabomake solo akaveli. Wacela ukuthi lama cooperatives lebacela ukuthi endiwe atawukhona ukuthi asite abantu labasha nabomake. Kodwa ngifuna ukuthi ndunankulu atikho kahle letinhlelo letibekelwe ku-assista lama cooperatives. Bantu bakithi bayawa register ama cooperatives, baya register certificate, abana mundu lobasitako kwenta ama proper business plan, abana bandu lebabasitako ukuthi baqale lawo ma business. Agcina ahleli lamaphepha angakasebenzi lutho. So siyacela ke ku-MEC we-Economic Development ukuthi ababe na proper planning ukuthi ba-assiste bantu bakithi laba labana lama cooperative ukuthi batomule kulo hulumende wabo. Ngaphandle kokuthi basitwe ngithi singihulumende angeke asebende lama cooperative. So asingabele ukuthi bantu abende lokhu bese thina sibasiti labantu ukuthi ba-achieve lokhu lebafuna uku-achieve. We acknowledge that there are still challenges and our people have voiced their concern. Inzaba yokuma kakhulu emakliniki ene siyabonga kakhulu i-Department of Health ukuthi addressile lokho.
Round up, honorable member.
The other challenges raised by the communities being addressed, especially in rural areas. We are working hard to address challenges raised by our community. Ngekubambisana singihulumende nabo bonke labakhona embangweni labasebentela abantu siyawukhona ukuthi siphumelele kuko konke lokusho ndunankulu. Ngiyabonga.
Siyabonga kakhulu, honorable member. The next speaker is Honorable BT Shongwe from the ANC, 8 minutes.
Honorable Speaker, BP Shiba, Deputy Speaker, Honorable Premier Mtsweni, members of the executive and honorable members. It's a great pleasure for me to take part in this important debate where we debate the state of the province address. But before that, I want to respond to Honorable Sedibe. That Honorable Sedibe, you went to the Department of Education to check the estate of my husband, what he left, and I'm using that to build my house. And I'm not competing with Babu Robert because I don't have Imalina Babu Robert. But the money that my husband left, as well as the cows, everything, I'm using it to build my house. I can't be that stupid lady. Lohamba pama dotsa timal, ahamba diesel amadotsa timal. I'm a wise lady. Lo sebenzisa imali yakhe ngokuhlakanipha ngokuthi ngakhele bantwana bami. The ANC-led government is continuing with historical mandate of pursuing the national democratic revolution and to translate the gains of democracy into reality that our people long struggled for. We owe a debt of gratitude to the forebearers of our liberation struggle, Ubaba Mandela, Ubaba Tambo, Umama Albertina Sisulu, umama Winnie Madikizela Mandela, nabo bonke bomama laba ma forebearers labalwela ukuthi sithole inkululeko. As I said in one of the motions, that we are still continuing where they left, and we want to promise that the transformation agenda lebe bayilwela kule generation yethu, we will continue to do that, including occupying strategic positions in government as well in politics, and we are pushing that forward, and we can't relax until we achieve. If we are not going to achieve in our lifetime, our great-grandchildren will do that on our behalf, but we are certain that victory is certain. These are men and women who began the slow and difficult work of making freedom more meaningful for the poor who are in the majority by having nothing. We are gratified with the fact that South Africans overwhelmingly mandated the ANC-led government to lead this country and to transform the lives of our people to the better. As the ANC, we are clear that while economic growth is necessary for the creation of jobs and reducing unemployment, growth by itself is not sufficient in reducing poverty and reducing inequality. Social transformation is also a pillar of improving the lives of our people. The NDP accords a central role of social protection in tackling the triple challenges of poverty, inequality, and unemployment. It is also strongly advocates for a minimum level of social protection floor below which no one should fall. On Tuesday, the 25th of February 2020, in this House, the Honorable Premier Umama Refile Mtsweni-Tsipane narrated a good story of 25 years of freedom and democracy under the ANC-led government. She delivered the State of the Province address that captures the transformation and advancement agenda of the ANC-led government in this province. No one will ever again be deprived of opportunities to prosper and make Mpumalanga a thriving province. Honorable Speaker, as the government, we are obliged to address the scourge of social ills confronting our communities across our province. Honorable Speaker, the Honorable Premier umakhona tigameko the gender-based violence uyasijuba singama MECs wabo wakhe ukuthi sigijime sihambele leto tindzawo leto. Ngikhuluma nje last weekend on Saturday, myself and MEC Manzini bekasithumele eBushbuckridge lapho bekuyongcwatshwa khona li-comrade lethu lelibulawe indoda libuya emhlanganweni we-ANC Women's League. Sesisho ukuthi tikhona tinhlelo Honorable Tabete tokulwa ne-gender-based violence, but every program is attached to a budget. And njengoba uPresident asikhupulela imali, we hope ukuthi vele imali sitoyithola siyithole ngama-plans. The money nathi as a province we will be allocated, as we were allocated 18 ama-social workers kulawa laka announced nguPresident ukuthi nathi siwacatshe eziMpumalanga sesikwendile lokho kepha siwacasha ngegrant lebuya ku-national laba bayoba dedicated ukuthi balwe ne-gender-based violence. Honorable Premier, we want to thank you for leading gender-based violence in the province. We've seen you, Honorable Premier, njengamake uhamba ulida ama-march, uhamba uvakashela tindzawo talaba labahlukunyetwe gender-based violence. We've seen the Honorable MEC attending ama-courts awo onke bobabe, especially laba lababulale bomake. And sifuna kubonga amaphoyisa in that regard ukuthi sebenzisana kahle ne-department yemaphoyisa ukuthi babanjiwe bonke labo babecishi lababulale bafati eMpumalanga. Ama-cases wabo asecourt ayachubeka. Ngingathanda ukuthi sishayele i-department yemaphoyisa tandla ngoba nayo ilidwa ngumake siyabona ukuthi kusukunyelwe etulu ngokuthi kubanjwe labo babe labahlukubeta abafati babulale kanye nebantwana. However, Honorable Premier, we want to indicate ukuthi sisene high level of substance abuse leader to this gender-based violence, and also we still experience the rising numbers of HIV infections in the province, and want to call upon special abobabe ukuthi abahambe bayotesta ukuze bathathe i-treatment loko lokutowenda ukuthi leli gciwane lehle in terms of infection, and lehle nokuthi tingadzi tinombolo tebantu laba affectwa HIV. Nabo make bayaya kuyotesta kepha inamba likhombisa ukuthi bobabe bancane labaya kuyotesta ngokuthi inamba letiphuma ema-clinic. We want to agree with you, Honorable Premier, in your State of the Province address, la usho khona ukuthi kufanele sisukume province silwisane ne-gender-based violence, and we've seen numbers growing in our province, but we'll make sure ukuthi together with other sister departments we fight this scourge led by you, Honorable Premier. We will push forward. We also want to appreciate kungedwa kwema-grants onge ikakhulu i-grant yabogogo ngoba ngibo lebasisapotela emakhaya. Sinxuse futhi nalamantombazana lamancane ukuthi Nkosi yami abayisebenzisele ukusapota labantwana bayekele lokuyisebenzisela lokunye lokungekho emthethweni. Honorable Premier, I will appreciate if you can put the investigation in the Department of Social Development. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Honorable Member, the next speaker is Honorable W.L. Weber from VF Plus, 3 minutes.
Honorable Speaker, I'm very careful in your presence because I've been told, "Uthinta umfazi, uthinta imbokotwe." Madam Speaker, I noticed when the Honorable Premier entered this chambers to deliver her State of the Province address that the members of the opposition parties kept seated. I did not. I rose to show my respect. I respect the Premier of our province. When she had delivered her speech, I did not rise. Not because of disrespect, but because I disagree with the points of departure of the governing party. I do not agree with that. When I closed my eyes listening to the speech, I heard that the government wants to build this and this and that. The government wants to develop. The government wants to create jobs. It is not the function of government to create jobs. Winning nations leave job creation to private enterprise. We will be winning if we adopt the policies of the winning nations of the world, and winning nations don't do that. When I listened to the Honourable Premier, I quote, she said, "Local government by its nature and character exists to provide quality and reliable services to our people." Unfortunately, this does not happen. In a town at Dipaliseng, Grootvlei, for the last 2 weeks, there hasn't been any services delivered whatsoever. We cannot continue with this. The model by which local authorities are being governed is not sustainable. All the municipalities are bankrupt, they make losses, and these losses are being financed by Eskom. That will not happen forever and a day. It is not sustainable. We must change, and we must change in time. Then I've been told about a skills audit. I would like to see what the outcome of these skills audits is. I suspect that nothing has been done. Then I want to touch on rural safety. I talk about our tourists that are being attacked. This is killing our economy. Then I will touch on farmer tax.
Round up.
Yes, I will. I want to share a secret with you. Do you realize that there is a brewing revolution at Witbank in Malahleni? It's called a homecoming revolution. You must watch that space.
Thank you, Honorable Weber. We're now moving to the next speaker. Honorable B. Grobler from the DA, 3 minutes.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. I thank you for the opportunity. Honourable Speaker, through you, Honourable Premier, when you delivered your State of the Province address, I wasn't really concerned about what you said, but much rather more by what you did not say. Honourable Premier, on roads and transport, you didn't mention any plans to fix the state of our roads. This is our rural roads, our district roads, as well as our roads that connect our towns. And this is really a very big concern for the DA because it's a factor that contributes to so many things in our province. We know that tourism is a huge factor in which we can capitalize on in this province. If we can get our tourists to all our tourist destinations, then we can really have a huge economic boost in this province. More than that, anything that can be sold or bought in this province, if it can be moved easier and safer with less cost, then we will have the benefit. Whether that's crop, livestock, or even coal, we need to look at the state of our roads, and we really need to prioritize that. Honourable Premier, you kept on praising the Department of Education for the matric pass rate. As the DA, we are very concerned because actually less learners are passing. This year, 250 less learners passed matric than the last year or the year before. If we look at the real pass rate, in 2017, 94,103 grade 10s was in our schools, and in 2019, 34,995 grade 12s passed grade 12. That means only 37% of our learners that were in grade 10 actually passed grade 12, and then we didn't even take the number back to grade 1, Honourable Premier, and that is really a big concern. Honourable Premier, you paint the picture regarding houses in this province in such a way that I think that you might have been making use of the legalization of cannabis a bit more often than is really just beneficial for your health. Honourable Premier, you cannot drive an engineless car, yet we deliver houses in this province which are not connected to sewer systems, which are not connected to water systems. This has been given to the residents of Siangoba, where you come from in Emalahleni, and Honourable Premier, we must do better than that.
Round up,
Just on
Honourable Member.
Nkosi City, I think it can be a great success. However, you failed to mention what the economic drivers of that city will be, and we are looking forward to hearing on Friday what the economic drivers of Nkosi City will be. Honourable Premier, Mega, just disband it, please. It's not working. The entity is costing us money, and we must do better. How can we do better? Let's copy what the DA is doing in the Western Cape, Honourable Premier. The lowest unemployment rate, the highest economic growth, the smallest Gini coefficient, the safest cities, the best roads, even innovative things like taking recyclable material and making plastic roads, the highest real matric pass rate. That's how we improve our province, by copying DA policy. Let's do that. Let's make sure that there's real consequence for people that are found guilty of corrupt activities. Let's make sure that there's real consequence for people that misspend our money. Let's
Time
make
up, Honourable
sure
Member.
there's a real consequence for people that waste government's money, because that's how the people of this province will benefit. I thank you.
Thank you very much. The next speaker is Honourable MJ Msebi from the ANC, 8 minutes.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker, for the opportunity. The Deputy Speaker of the Legislature, the Honourable Premier of the Province, Chief Whip of the Majority Party, members of the Provincial Legislature, my colleagues in the Executive, Leader of the main opposition, Leader of Government Party and its alliance in our midst, Traditional Leader Samakos, Nitindo Natao, Mayors, Councillors, CDWs, Ward Committees, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, receive my warmest greetings. Honourable Premier, two things disturbed me when I came here is the attired by the Chief Whip of the Majority Party and attired by Honorable Stolle. It is black and white. Madam Speaker, President Oliver Tambo once said, and I quote, "The future is bright, the end is glorious, it is peaceful, but the intervening period is dark, bitter, and finds glory in the act of struggle," unquote. Considering the strategic objective of the African National Congress as far as people are concerned as the ultimate destination to the National Democratic Society. From where we are today and where the National Democratic Society lies, SOR Tambo stated, it lies in the darkness and the bitterness, but regardless of the overall outcome, is peace and glory. Madam Speaker, when the Premier ascended on this very podium on the 25th to deliver the State of the Province address, she did not do it out of feelings, but out of guidance by OR of drawing the peoples in the province closer to the realization of the non-racial, non-sexist, and the prosperous South Africa for all. The moment between now and the National Democratic Society is dark and is filled with bitterness, thus requiring a reliable and credible captain, and the captain is the African National Congress, no one else. Madam Speaker, Amilcar Cabral once said, and I quote, "Always bear in mind that the people are not fighting for ideas, for things in anyone's head. They are fighting to win material benefits, to deliver better, and in peace to see the lives go forward to guarantee the future of their children," unquote. It is our view, Madam Speaker, that the dysfunctional of most of our municipalities can be attributed to the general poor governance skills, lack of accountability, weak financial management, and high vacancies in critical senior management positions, and in many instances, an inability to deliver even core of basic municipal services efficiently and effectively. Therefore, when we see people embark on service delivery protests, we are quick to characterize them as counter-revolutionary fifth columns. However, if we were to address the shortcomings at local government level and employ our poor governance skills, print financial management capacity to deliver services, I can confirm to you, Madam Speaker, that we will not embark on service delivery protests. Madam Speaker, the municipalities in the province may be in a dire state, but none come as close to brink of collapse like Dr. Jess Moroka local municipality. And the Premier has alluded to this on the intervention that we have made in Port 106 and Section 139. Madam Speaker, in this last year, the Honorable Premier informed this very House about plans to establish the Planning Management Unity to be centralized by COGTA that will coordinate, plan, and monitor implementation of infrastructural development projects across the province. Today, we can proudly say, Honorable Speaker and Honorable Premier, the PMU workshop has already took place, and as government in generally and departmental in particular, we're ecstatic about the whole setup. The Chinese have a very common saying that the journey of 1,000 miles begin with one footstep. Therefore, the workshop was the first step in heeding the call by the Honorable Premier to establish PMU. The establishment of the PMU will assist the completion of project in time with little or no delays at all. Thus, the workshop was another critical step to the journey of centralized planning and coordination of projects. The establishment of the PMU will in no doubt change the complexion of the implementation of projects around the province. Furthermore, in the heart of the PMU executing its mandate should be the adherence of compliance to dictate spatial development. This also serves as a tangible evidence to our commitment of ensuring the planning, coordination, and implementation of projects yields to outcomes as envisaged by the Vision 2030. Honorable Premier, credit must be given where it is due. Your foresight on the subject matter of PMU deserves to be recognized as astute leadership. Madam Speaker, the establishment of the PMU within COGTA is the right timing to it because government nationally has introduced what we call the new district development model, which aspire to make it a point that coordination or delivering of services are coordinated properly rather than to plan in silos. The Kauleza district model is yet another attempt at addressing infrastructural deficiencies and a practical means to accelerate service delivery. The very implementation of this model will shorten the spatial disparities existing within the parameters of the province. The department will unconditionally support the initiative not only by assuring the existence of cooperative governance between different spheres of government and to ensure the empowerment and capacitating of the district so as to ensure that they are capable of dispatching services at their level. Madam Speaker, With regard to spatial development, the Kauleza district model should, as an outcome, yield self-sufficient developing and economical active rural regions of Mpumalanga, urban economies, and that are sustainable, growth-driven, inclusive, and with ability of minimalization of poverty, inequality, and unemployment. Madam Speaker, allow me once more to acknowledge the Honourable Premier leadership. The Honourable Premier mentioned infrastructural project development programs that will permanently alter the outlook of the province, as Honourable Huebler has just alluded. The two smart city initiatives, Honourable Premier, that were outlined during your address will yield the necessary economic stimulation much dearly needed by the identified respective locations. The project, fellow Honourable Premier, this project, honourable members, must be jealously guarded with attention to detail and precise planning and planning coordination. This is where PMU will come to astronomize use. One honourable member, Honourable Speaker, indicated to the Premier that he wants explicit about Nkosisi document is available, he will get that. The Kauleza district model will also be an instrument we can use to identify early warning signs and possible arrests, them with the aim of delivering this very prestigious project to the people of Mpumalanga. But one challenge, Honourable Speaker and Honourable Premier and members, is the question of financing system to municipalities. Our municipalities are not being financed properly with the hope and belief that people will pay services, while we know that there's high rate of unemployment in the country. In conclusion, Honourable Speaker, allow me to quote the Deputy President, Walter Sisulu, when he said, I quote, "Every organization engaged in a national liberation constantly has to isolate, analyze, and search for solutions crucially both to its continued existence and growth, as well as to the struggle as a whole. In a certain sense, the story of our struggle is a story of problems arising and problems being overcome," unquote. Clearly, the story of our struggle, as said by the Deputy President of the ANC, then the story of our governance are written by the same hand, because the story of our governance is, as Sisulu says, the story of problems arising and problems being overcome. Therefore, Honourable Premier, when you hear the opposite members or honourable members in the opposite benches painting a gloomy picture of the province with their tongues, remember that our struggle and our government is a story of problem arising and problems being overcome, and against all odds, Honourable Premier, we shall overcome. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. The next speaker is Honorable Enchi Nyembe from the EFF, 3 minutes.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Sanbonani. Honorable Premier, we can't be relying on apartheid infrastructure nearly 26 years into democracy. They are all old and dilapidated, ranging from Wheatbank, Mapulaneng, Mbuleni, Tintswalo hospitals, and many more. I know that in your response you will tell me about the new hospital to be built, which are far from completion, in fact some not even started. The issue here is let's deal with the status quo through an intensive hospital revitalization program in order for our people to get healthcare services in a dignified, clean and adequate hospital, not the current ones which have leaking roofs, mortuaries, broken doors and inadequate theater rooms. Some of the hospitals like Mapulaneng use borehole as the source of water nearly 26 years into democracy. Honorable Premier, I hear you mentioning that you will build thousands of RDP units in Secunda West, Wheatbank and Bombela, etc. Through the integrated human settlement program, which we fully support precisely because it will address the housing backlogs and needs in our communities. But our worry as the EFF is the high level of corruption and in the allocation of these houses done by the ANC leaders and councillors. We have been receiving numerous calls from individual community members, young and old, including the senior citizens from all the length and breadth of the province, complaining that they have applied for the houses 15 and 20 years ago, but until today they don't have houses. Whereas those who applied after them are already having houses because they are close families, friends and girlfriends and boyfriends of their politicians. Houses belonging to the legitimate beneficiaries are sold to illegitimate and not deserving beneficiaries, like police and teachers, by ANC councillors. And officials from the
Round up,
municipalities,
honourable member.
Honourable Premna, we have a lot of child-headed households in the province, and most of these poor kids are staying in 1 or 2 rooms alone, and they are vulnerable to the criminals who rape them, the young girls, and at night, and take the belongings they have. And why you don't take the budget for the houses and build these poor children a parliamentary village, a child-headed village like one that we are doing for the parliamentary village? Why do you prioritize the have and affording ones instead of prioritizing the have-nots and destitute and dejected masses of our people? As I conclude, Honourable Prema, let me indicate that I have not heard you talking about a plan to curb the gruesome eviction of farm dwellers by the racist whites in the farms, even though the law
Time up,
prohibits such
honourable
barbaric
member.
actions. I have not heard you talking about government plan to defend the farm workers from the brutality they are subjected to on a daily basis, but by the racist white farmers who continue
Time
to
up, honourable
abuse
member.
and exploit them. I challenge you to join the EFF and take tough stance against all racist whites in Mpumalanga, most especially the farmers, because they freely and without fear continue to
Time
do
up,
our
honourable
fathers
member.
and mothers what they did to our great
Thank you very much. The next speaker is Honorable S.J. Manzini from the ANC, 8 minutes.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker and Deputy Speaker, Honorable Chief Whip of the Majority Party, Honorable Premier Mary Filwe Mtsweni-Tsipane, Honorable members of the Legislature, colleagues in the Executive Council, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Honorable Speaker, I want to join my colleagues in government and the people of Mpumalanga Province in welcoming the watershed State of the Province address by our Honorable Premier Mary Filwe Mtsweni-Tsipane. Honorable Premier, we want to thank you for the leadership and guidance and prioritizing the developmental needs of the people of Mpumalanga Province. Honorable Speaker, the Honorable Premier painted an inspiring picture of the tale of two cities by painting a scenario of the best of times and the worst of times. Of course, the Honorable Premier isolated just a few issues that describe the best time experience by the province of the Rising Sun. There are a number of good stories that we can tell as Mpumalanga Provincial Administration under the astute stewardship of our Honorable Premier. We ascribe the positive performance of the province to the visionary and unwavering leadership of our Premier. Honorable Speaker, we have entered a new era of hope to further improve the basic living condition and lives of all our people. We draw inspiration and courage from the Freedom Charter as quoted by the Honorable Premier when she said, Freedom Charter, which demands that there shall be free medical care and hospitalization shall be provided to all with special care for mothers and children. Honorable Speaker, we stand here today in this August House encouraged by the moving, insightful and inspiring foresight expressed by the Honorable Premier last Tuesday. It was a comprehensive narrative of the shared vision for the future of the province of the Rising Sun under the capable stewardship of the Revolutionary People Movement. The ANC of Mayor Albertina Sisulu, Lillian Ngoyi, Victoria Mgenge, and my other heroines of the struggle against the oppressive system of apartheid. Over the 26 years of our young democracy, concerted effort were made to address the triple challenges of poverty, unemployment, and inequality in the province. Today, we look back full of pride because of what the ANC, its allies, and the people of this country have achieved. The Freedom Charter remains our inspiration and our strategic guide to realizing a better life of South Africa that truly belongs to all who live in it. The Freedom Charter is the living soul of our country's progressive constitution and is the foundation of the Vision 2030 of the National Development Plan. Everything we are doing is in pursuance of the vision of the NDP to address the triple challenges. The last 25 years has seen many achievements in education, from the creation of a single non-racial education system to the accomplishment of almost universal enrollment in the early years of schooling. The focus has now shifted towards the equality of education while improving access. We have seen the improvement of 80.3 of our recent matric results for the class of 2019. And of course, if you were not here before the 25 years of democracy, you'll talk like the honorable member is saying that there's no improvement in our education. But if you are like some of us who were born before 1994, indeed you can see that there is a lot of improvement in our education in the country. Honorable Groble. Education and health remains our apex priorities of the 6th administration to radically improve access and equality. The 4th industrial revolution is upon us, and modernization and innovation is critical in the public service. Honorable Speaker, education is the singular most important investment any government can make and plays a significant role to design your future as a successful person in life and a responsible citizen in society. A gift of knowledge cannot be stolen and can bring you to the top of your dreams, the greatest treasures that one can achieve in education. I always say, and I'll repeat, today, Honorable Groble, we have a new problem of unemployed graduates, just because of this ANC-led government. But because whether you have been privileged before, hence you'll stand up here and say there's no improvement in terms of education in the province and in the country. Honorable Speaker, we address this House when the world at large is plagued by the devastating outbreak of the coronavirus declared by the World Health Organization as a global health emergency, the COVID-19. The President of the country issued a directive of the repatriation of all or willing South Africans residing in the Wuhan province of the People's Republic of China. This single bold step by the President bears testimony of a caring nature of the ANC-led government. Honorable Speaker, the Interministerial Committee assigned with the matter gave South Africans the breakdown of the comprehensive repatriation process, which include the pre- and in-flight screening, quarantine, and reunification measures. Thus far, as a country and as a province, we are fortunate not to have a single reported suspected coronavirus case. The department has put measures in place to respond to any unforeseen cases and have identified Rob Ferreira as the center to deal with such. Honorable Speaker, as outlined by the Honorable Premier, the Department of Health is currently implementing the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development as adopted by the United Nations General Assembly in September 2015, of ensuring that health for all is a reality for everyone, everywhere in the province, and reaffirming that the health is human right by implementing the universal health coverage through the National Health Insurance. Honorable Speaker, the National Assembly conducted a public hearing on the National Health Insurance Bill, and they started with Mpumalanga Province. During these hearings, our people came out in great numbers to inform us that they want the NHI, because they understand that, honorable members, all the issues that we are raising of infrastructure, the only solution is for us to implement the NHI so that our people can get the quality health services that they deserve. We know that the imperialist and colonial forces within the outside the country are working very hard to discredit the NHI policy direction and our capacity to implement NHI. We are not naive to a point that we will stand to deny the existing challenges in the healthcare system. However, government works very hard to push back and eradicate these challenges. What surprises?
Round up.
Okay. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Maybe in conclusion, Honorable, let me inform Honorable Sidibe that in the last year, the Department of Health in Mpumalanga was chosen to be one of the 16 departments in the country to pilot the Public Audit Amendment Act, and I'm very proud to indicate that there were no material irregularities that was found by the Auditor General, which indicated that the department is ensuring that there is sound financial management. So as a province, we must clap hands for us because we managed to implement and there were no findings. The Department of Health managed to do that. And I would like to ask the Honorable Sedibe to provide me with statistics and prove that patients are afraid to go to our facilities. Because as I'm standing here, I'm saying in terms of our life expectancy, I'm saying in terms of the HIV and AIDS, there is progress in terms of the Department of Health, and the progress is because people of Mpumalanga are using the facilities that you are saying are afraid to use. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Thank you very much. The next speaker is Honorable V.R. Shongwe from the ANC, 10 minutes.
Yeah. Ngiyabonga Somlomo. Ngibingelele no Deputy Speaker. Ngibingelele futhi nondunankulu wami umama uRefile Mthweni Tsipane. Nama executive members, nama members of the legislature, my chief whip and the deputy chief whip, and all protocol observed. Yeah, we lead Anyana when. Well, also the brand new DG of the province and all my HODs. Welcome. Well, it is a great pleasure for me to participate in this debate of the State of the Province Address in the 6th legislature of this province. The year 2020, the year of unity and socio-economic renewal and nation building. This year we celebrate centenary years of several great leaders of our nation. One of them is Twalandwe, is Raymond Mhlaba, a stalwart of the ANC, the Communist Party, and Umkhonto wesizwe. Umrei was an outstanding leader, a Rivonia trialist, and the first democratically elected Premier of Eastern Cape. Secondly, is Twalandwe. Is Twalandwe nge-ANC. Awumani usithole. Uyabona kube sasinika bosedibe nje ngabe bahamba naso lesithwalandwe se-ANC. Isithwalandwe sikunika nangabe sesibona ukuthi vele so uzawuhamba uzuhambele la nhlanganweni yethu. uHarry Gwala. This dedicated fighter of our movement was a leader of the ANC, SACP, SACTU, Umkhonto wesizwe, and the ANC Youth League. The teacher, committed leader, freedom fighter, unionist, and organizer, Harry Gwala worked for the people throughout his life. May we continue with the baton they left for us. Honorable Speaker, my Premier spoke very well in details in the State of the Province address. Today that we are talking here, all of us, it is because of the speech that she tabled and whatever that we listen to it. I'm happy that some of our people and leaders have chosen to select the input of the Premier and took those that they want and reject those that they don't want. And that is natural. That is natural. You see, the opposition party and all parties, their role is to oppose and critique the State of the Province address and provide solutions. But up to so far, all members and leaders of the opposition that spoke, they only criticized but without solutions. So that means the African National Congress still provide the best policies and principles in this country. And I want to say, Premier ukhulume kakhulu.
Just a minute, Honorable Shong.
Ungibekele Speaker le minute ngifuna ukukhuluma nalabantu.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I don't want to interrupt the MEC because I actually enjoy his speech. I just want to ask your email address, please, MEC. I've got in my speech some solutions. I can email it to you,
No,
and then you can read it because it seems like you can't listen to it.
Honorable
So
Problem.
I'll send you a nice email. Thank you.
We are rising on which rule? You need to state the rule because you are now making a statement. You
No.
can continue, Honorable
No,
Shong.
Ndunankulu, uyabona uma uyishaya esikhonkosini uyayibona ngama responses ukuthi hayi uyishaye khona bathula labo mzala bangasho lutho kusho ukuthi usahambe eceleni wababona basukuma bavuka amabhande uyazi ukuthi ushaye khona Ndunankulu ukhulumile kakhulu ngeagriculture ukhulumile nangama programs eagriculture bophezulu komkhono omlimi bozonda insila bozonda indlala masibuyele sibayeni wakhuluma futhi nge-environment wasinikeza a-clear instruction as i-department ukuthi ufuna sibona sidila ngalento ye-environment nangalabo air pollution and we have spoken as a department with my HOD and the management that we are going to unleash the green scorpions. We have green scorpions in the department and this is on board. Sizobopha abomasipala abamosha environment sibophe private sector sibophe nawo wonke umuntu opolluter i-environment in the province. We have listened carefully from your speech Ndunankulu and you have spoken very well and you know that opposition today bavula umlomo ngoba there's something on the table. Into efanele uyazi Ndunankulu ne-government ye-ANC and leaders of the African National Congress angeke umuntu akhulume uma ngabe nina as i-ANC ningakabeki into etafuleni. They will start talking based on what we have put on the table. That is exactly labangena khona awekho ama-policies awekho. So ama-departments they still going to have details to give details to what the Premier have said to all of us. We are going to bring that into this house and tell people of this province through budget votes wethu. So you can't expect the Premier ukuthi kufanele angene ka-agriculture akhulume nge-cent ne-rent, angene ka-health akhulume nge-cent ne-rent, angene ka-education akhulume nge-pass rate yaka-grade banban up to grade banban. No, that is not how the legislature works. And the Honorable Premier, Umam Refilwe Mtsweni-Tsipane, on the 25th of November 2019, in consultation with the Cabinet, declared the drought we are experiencing in the province as a disaster. Those are critical matters that we must look at. Buka ukuthi i-province ne-economy yaphi. Khuluma ngama-details. Ungakhulumi ijudge uNondunankulu. Ungakhulumi ukumbangisa ukuthi uNdunankulu we-province uloku solumphendula usaha isitulo wenza ukuthi nokuthi. Look at the life of our people and the economy of this province. So I want to say uNdunankulu, the department in conjunction with DAF, NDMC, PDMC, local municipalities and other organs of the state are working hand in hand in implementing the following mitigation strategies and measures. And this will be in line with the Disaster Management Act of 57 of 2002. The implementation of water harvesting projects such as building infrastructure that include static tanks to the harvest of water. Ngiyabona isikhathi sakho Ndunankulu, Speaker sesiyasondela. Preservation, rehabilitation, protection of ecological infrastructure such as wetlands and etc. I'm not going to eradication of illegal water use and sand mining. Ngiyabona Speaker asikhona ukukhuluma zonke lezi zinto ngoba unginike only 10 minutes. Kufuna ngiphinde ngikhulume ngibuye nangapha ku-opposition ngisho ukuthi bakhulume ngani lapha bakhuluma ngey'ncwadi ezibhalwe bomama and uma kathi usedibe sibizibhalwe bomama uma ungamlalela kahle uyaphosisa kubhalwe umama oyedwa And bese uyazibuza ukuthi why uSedibe angathathanga lencwadi wayinikeza uNdunankulu ayibekile namhlanje uzoshayela ngayo lapha phambi kwabantu ucabanga ukuthi uphephula ngale ncwadi. So those are things Ndunankulu engicabanga ukuthi as members of this legislature our role and responsibilities is to make sure that when we get information send that information to the relevant person.
Point of order, Speaker.
Oh.
On which role are you standing?
Point of order, Speaker.
Okay.
Yeah, the honorable member is misleading the House. And I'm worried because he is not the Premier. The Premier will respond. And I was clear that I'm sending a message, I'm a messenger. They said, please pass this message to the Premier. And I'm honorable member, Sibangisa Premier. I'm posting ngathi, I'm sure already sent MEC. Simbangisana.
Honorable Sedibe, the point of order is not sustained. You know the rule that we must not disturb the debate. Could you please stick to the rules? You can continue. I will give you extra 2 minutes.
Ngiyabonga Speaker. And akhulume nangendaba ye mining.
Order, which law?
Nokuthi mining.
No,
Which law allows you to
Honorable
make extra?
Sedibe,
What?
why are you rising now?
Would you make extra 2 minutes for what?
Remember that you have disturbed the member.
I've never disturbed him on recognizing what on which rule as point of order. It
And-
never happened. Under which rule?
Honourable
Which
Speaker,
rule allows you to give him 2 minutes?
Can we call a point of order, Honourable Speaker?
Awube kancane wena Mbovu.
Can we
When we
call
are
a
a poet,
point
when I
of
think you
order?
must use this one for poet when you come in
Honorable
premier.
Sedibe, sit down.
It's not a
Will you
serious
please sit
politician,
down?
that one.
Honorable Sedibe,
But
will you please
what
sit down?
inform you to give him 2
Will
minutes?
you please
Which
sit
rule?
down? You know that.
Khotelele rule
Honourable
ethi
Speaker.
ungamnika 2 minutes.
Honorable Sedibe, sit down.
Awukazi usinike thina uzonika yena kanjani?
No, Honorable Sedibe. I've
Yep.
made I've made a
The
no,
rule. Sebenza ngemthetho.
no.
Ngiyabonga.
Just a minute, let me hear Honorable Mlombo.
Honourable Speaker, I wanted to call umhlonishwa obalulekile kakhulu uSidibe out of order. Because he knows that the decision of the presiding officer is final according to Rule 47. And the presiding officer has taken a decision
Sikhuluma nga 2
that
minutes.
she gives
Yabona le
the 2
poet,
minutes
wena
to
just sit
the
down,
member.
we poet through
So
wena.
you are out of order.
The premier must
So
use
please,
you.
the order
Akubongelele
should be
upremier makangena la all the
Thank
time.
you
That
very
should be
much.
your responsibility.
Thank you very much, Honorable Mlombo. The order is sustained. You can continue, Honorable.
Ngiyabonga Speaker, only 2 matters engakhuluma ngawo. Yokuqala ilokuthi instruct icabinet ukuthi ibambe imining indaba. Akasilunga le cabinet ngeke instruct ukuthi sibambe mining indaba ngoba mawubambe mining indaba kufanele ube ne budget for that. And uSedibe usebenzile kule government beka iplana uwazi kahle ama policies e government ukuthi isebenza njani ngoba ngale sokungale sowenza ngathi akasazi manje. 2 uthi advise engasebenzi iplan enjani advisor wrong. 2 ile corruption abakhuluma ngayo Speaker. I corruption uma ngabe unesho ukuthi kune corruption uyahamba uyovula uyotshela amaphoyisa ukuthi la kune corruption yenziwe ngibani ngesikhathi esithile so that loyo bantu loyo awakwazi ukuthi aboshwe bangaloku basithusa nge-corruption every day.
Order, Honourable Speaker.
Honorable Sedibe.
The honourable leader of government business is now responding on behalf of the Premier. It means
No.
siyaqeda namuhla la the
No,
Premier
hon-
must not come back and respond.
Honorable Sedibe, you know.
Yeah,
that
but
you-
he's speaking on behalf of the
it
Premier.
seems
The
as if
Premier has
you-
noted
No,
who's respond
no,
ngala
Honorable Sedibe,
advices.
sit down so that I can be able to communicate with you.
No, but
Sit
now
down.
I'm advising properly. And this thing, I would sit down will not help you. If you want this thing to be how we treat each other going forward, it will be like that. We're trying to respect the decorum of the House. Was asking about the rule.
But
which
you are
rule
not
you? You
respecting.
not give us the rule like you
No,
did
you are not.
in the
If I
sofa.
said
It's
sit
very
down,
wrong.
you don't do
So,
that.
I'm going to respond on behalf of the Premier. The Premier will respond on herself.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much. Honorable Chom.
Umhlonishwa lawati kahle kakhulu njengelunga leselinesikhathi lesizwe liseParliament. There is freedom of speech. This is a debate and Honorable Shongo une right yokudebate ngale ndlela lafuna njengoba naye debate lazanga disturb.
And then you
Yeah.
think
Okay,
the speaker
thank-
does not
no,
have a capacity to say that?
Thank you, thank you.
We are
thank you.
undermining your own
Honorable
speaker.
members, no.
Uqala
Hayi,
kwakho
Honorable
speaker
Sedibe,
now.
no.
Or you want to
Honorable-
go back to the seat?
Honorable
We are
Sedibe,
undermining, we are
No.
being undermined, you must not allow that.
no,
She
no,
can't say
Honorable
that.
Sedibe,
Allow me to read the
Please.
rule.
Honorable Sedibe, please, no, don't do that. Don't do that. No. You can continue, Honorable Chairman.
Ngiyabonga somlomo sengizohlala phansi ngicela ukusho ke somlomo ukuthi
Mfakele 10 minutes, Speaker, ngimcelela 10
amalunga
minutes.
ahloniphekile
Can you, Speaker,
kubalulekile
can you
ukuthi
add 10 minutes for him?
siwafundise
No, Honorable Sedibe.
No, I know he will
kubalulekile
not make a
ukuthi
sense. Please add 10 minutes for him. He will never say
No,
anything
Honorable
that makes a
Sedibe.
sense.
Ngiyakuzwa-ke.
vala Sedibe uyazi ukuthi ngiyakwazi ukuthi uyahlonipha nedwa uyaphapha nje manje ngiyakwazi ukuthi uhlonipha kabi mfana wami ngiyakwazi nedwa uyayiphaphisa nje manje wenzela i-crowd ayinokusiza into ebalulekile somlomo and ungathreatenisha usomlomo ungamthreatenisha usomlomo bokhumbula ukuthi ubuya kuliphi iguma into ebalulekile ke ukuthi uma sengizohlala phansi somlomo kubalulekile ukuthi uma singamalunga alesishaya mthetho singama leaders siboba responsible ngezinto esikhulumayo singathi ebantwini baseMpumalanga ezibhedlela ulaba yokufa khona ulaba bayophuma khona bayokutsha
Can the member
awukwazi ukusho njalo
order, no.
awukwazi ukusho njalo
Bathi ngisukumile
Sit
uzonisiphika.
down, but angakakunothi.
Yeah, ngiphakamile.
Sit down.
Ngihleli. Akayema kancane angakhuluma.
Honorable Sedibe, now we are not respecting the.
Akawithdraw ukuthi ngiyaphapha, Honorable Speaker. It's not parliamentary. I'm not a
Okay,
bait.
sit down ke.
Angisinyoni angisikhova ukuthi ngiyaphapha,
Yeah, ngizwile
akawithdraw.
phela, hlala phansi ke.
Yeah.
Honorable member, it's unparliamentary ukusebenzisa amagama afana nalawo. Could you please withdraw?
ngiyawithdrawa somlomo uqinisile umhlonishwa akushiwo ukuthi uyaphapha sengimane ngenziwa nguye nje ngiyamhlonipha kakhulu uSedibe
Hlale
ngiyamthanda
sowuqeda ke baba.
ngalawo mazwi bengicela nje ukuthi naye uSedibe nabanye bahlonishwa nathi futhi singakhulumi ngezibhedlela ezisiza abantu bakithi abanganamali ukuthi ngulaba yakhona emoshari bayokufa khona igama elibi lelo ngiyabonga.
Okay, no, thank you very much. That concludes the debate on the State of the Province address by the Premier. We're now moving to another item. Yes, the Secretary shall read the second order of the day.
Order number 2, consideration of a report of the Select Committee on Rules on the amendments of the Rules and Orders 2016 edition.
Thank you. I now call upon the Deputy Speaker, Honorable P.V. Mkhatshwa, to table the report.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I want to table the report and request the House to adopt.
Thank you. I am informed that there is no debate on this report. Now the question before the House is whether we agree to adopt this report as tabled by Honorable P.V. Mkhatshwa. Agreed to? Yes, so agreed. The Secretary shall read the third order of the day.
Order number 3, consideration of a report of the Select Committee on Legislature Oversight on 2018-19 annual report of the Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature.
Thank you. I now call upon the Chairperson of the Select Committee on Legislature Oversight, Honorable F.V. Mlombo, to table this report.
Honorable Speaker, I table the report as presented to be adopted by this Honorable House. Thank you.
Thank you. I am informed that there is no debate on this report. Now the question before the House is whether we agree to adopt this report.
Not
as
agreed,
tabled
not
by
agreed, not
Honorable
agreed, not agreed.
F.V. Mlombo.
Not
to?
agreed. not
We will deal
agree.
with that one. Thank you very much. We are now moving to another item. The secretary shall read the fourth order of the day.
3, consideration of the report on the Select Committee on Legislature Oversight on the second quarterly performance report of the Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature held on 26 November 2019 for 2019-2020.
Thank you. I now call upon the chairperson of the Select Committee on Legislature Oversight, Honorable Evim Lombo, to table this report.
Honorable Speaker, I rise to confirm that the report was presented before the committee. We have done justice to it. I therefore, on behalf of the committee, present it for adoption by this Honorable House. Thank you.
Thank you. I am informed that there is no debate on this report. Now the question before the House is whether we agree to adopt this report as tabled by the Honorable Evim Lombo. Agreed to? So agreed. Thank you very much. That brings us to the end of today's business. Let me take this opportunity and thank the Honorable Premier for listening attentively to the debate. It shows that the State of the Province address was well delivered, and also to congratulate the Honorable Premier for the sterling work that she have done in terms of appointment of the DG. We have led by example. Honorable Premier was appointed Lumama, and also in the HOD security, safety and liaison. Thank you very much for that. Yabonakala ukuthi uyabanakelela kakhulu abomama. Thank you very much for that. Let me also thank honorable members and guests in the gallery. Niziphathekahle, siyabonga kakhulu. It means that you are now able to understand the laws that govern the legislature. Thank you very much. And also to thank administration. You are now all requested to remain standing at your places until the procession has left the chamber. The House is now adjourned until Friday, the 6th of March 2020 at 10 o'clock in this very same venue.